Hello, it's Rapid Regeneration. I'm David Escamilla. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not making any medical claims or claims about diseases. I am a regenerative detoxification specialist. I am somebody who is committed to learn the secrets of nature, of natural self-healing, natural wellness, biohacking, and to heal myself, which I've done, from horrible health problems, and go to the next level of performance and spirituality and expansion and frequency and vibration. And now I'm on a mission to help you to do that, to pay that forwards. So basically, there's some amazing tips and tricks, and these are things that are, it seems like they're accessories to the main information, which is about supplements and total body cleansing and food choices and nutrition and detox. But it's not really, some of these things are not really accessories. I mean, they're so central and so integral. And if you miss them, then you could miss the whole boat. And this is what happened to me with grounding and earthing, because basically when I discovered this in early 2022, it was exactly at the right time for me, because at that time I was actually feeling ragged, a little bit burnt out. I was feeling like I was at the end of my rope, even though my health problems had long been solved, right? I had completely solved my health problems, probably 3 years earlier, 2019, when I was at the point where I was like, okay, I've made a complete recovery, and spent the next 3 years even going to the next level. But something was wrong, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And again, you can be doing all the right things, but maybe you're not doing all the right things. There could be a blind spot that you have. And that's what I'm committed to helping you with, is to sharing my experience, and you can have the benefit of my hindsight. You can stand on my shoulders and achieve far more in far less time than I had to do learning things the hard way for myself. And I was learning from mentors as well, and virtual people, and but the information was very scattered and disorganized. So I'm trying to make it more organized for you. And basically at this time, I learned about grounding and earthing, and something struck a chord with me. I was reviewing some information from a group, and one of the gentlemen was basically pitching this PEMF mat. He was saying, okay, it'll create an electrical balance within the body, and you lie on this mat for 20 minutes. It alkalizes the cells, and this helps to combat all the electronic interference that our bodies get throughout the day, as well as stress, emotional exhaustion, and so forth. And so this really struck a chord to me. And I thought, man, you know what? I felt like my gut feeling was telling me I was missing something that in this department, that I needed to be charged up. Like when your cell phone is on 10% of battery life. That's how I felt. And that's why this information, I think, resonated with me. And now this individual was pitching going into these clinics where they have these beds, these beds that cost, $100,000, and they're made from crystals and infrared lights and circuits, electrical circuits. And I was, concerned about the inconvenience of going into these centers, and I wasn't sure. I was still researching everything, and I started looking into buying some of these mats, which accomplish roughly the same thing, and they range in cost from $800 to $7,000. And just to be clear, the mats are different than the beds with the lights, but I'm just talking about the PEMF stations. And I started finding these mats ranging from $800 to $7,000, or some were even more than that. And when I was researching this, it became apparent to me that you could get a similar result of just using the electrical current of planet Earth itself. The Earth actually gives off a frequency, a magnetism, which is harmonious. And in electrochemical physics, basically what this means, and I've studied this subject and come to an understanding of it, but without getting too nerdy about it, basically the molecules of the Earth's surface are constantly giving off a flow of free electrons. That summarizes the whole thing about this magnetism. So this abundant flow of extra electrons will transfer to any object that touches the Earth's surface, which is conductive. Human beings are conductive. Our skin is conductive. So if our skin touches the Earth's surface, these extra electrons will transfer into our body. Now this is very alkalizing, very healing, puts the cells into a state of self-healing, reduces inflammation, cortisol response, which is closely related to stress. There are so many well-documented findings, scientifically studied, on record, documented, that happen to the body when you basically connect it to this flow of free electrons, and what that does to the electrical charge of the human body. And basically, a lot of people know this, and that's why your house is grounded, your apartment building is grounded, power lines are grounded, cable lines. They're connected to a copper rod, which is shoved 3 feet into the earth. So this creates an electrical buffer, and it protects the electrical systems against shocks and stresses that happen. Well, if the electrical systems need this, then we too need the same balance in our own bodies as humans. So what you can do is you can do outdoor grounding to the earth and go outside, take your shoes off, stand on the soil or the grass, or go to the beach, lie in the sand, or swim in the ocean, swim in a river. These are all things that are very powerful grounding techniques. Now, it's not all that simple, because after all, you have weather, okay? Uncomfortable weather. How about bugs, mosquitoes, pests? Busy schedule. You can't seem to get away. Your home is not located near good grass because maybe you're in a very urban setting. Maybe your outside environment is stressful, or among other reasons. So, yes, the power of old-fashioned earthing, that's what I was missing. Because if I was in a natural setting, I would be constantly in contact with the earth and my body would have been charged. So it seems like I had lost some kind of charge. And I think that's what was missing. So, yes, do that as much as possible. Now, if that's inconvenient, there's other products that you can use which do the same thing. Like, for example, you have a mat which is connected with a conduit. The mat is conductive. The mat is connected to a wire. The wire goes into your electrical socket. The third lower hole is the grounding part of the socket. You plug the wire into that. It grounds. It connects to the electrical wiring of the house, which connects to the grounding rod. So basically, it makes this mat, which I have one right here, it makes this mat electrically conductive. It's plugged into the earth via the grounding rod, and it's carrying that charge all the way to the mat. You can also do this with sheets. You can do this with sheets or pillowcases. They're woven in with silver threads into the fabric, which are conductive. And they have a connection point that goes to a wire that plugs into the plug, which plugs into the house's electrical, which plugs into the grounding rod, which plugs into the earth. So you can get the frequency of the earth. You can get it on a mat, which you put on your desk, to make contact with your hands or your arms. You can put it below your desk, and be barefooted, so it's connecting with your feet. You can get it with sheets, okay? You get it with sheets, and put that on your bed. You can do pillowcases. You can do attachments that go on the skin. You tape it on if you have an injury or something. You could do that as well. So I have the mats, I have on my desk, under the desk, and I have the sheets. I have a fitted sheet for the bottom, a top sheet, and then I use the pillowcase. And boy, I love it. This has been a complete game changer for me since I discovered this. And I like the way it makes me feel. It is a sort of a sensual experience, and when I get under the covers, it's a pleasant, tingling sensation that runs throughout the whole body. When I make contact with the grounding pads at my desk, it tends to make me feel more relaxed and balanced. And throughout the day, trust me, I typically go through a lot of pressure, stress, you could say, high emotional stakes sometimes. Sometimes I have to navigate tense situations or negotiate situations or solve problems when there's no easy solution. And this has been exhausting at times and draining, but it really helps me not only have increased energy, but increased calm and focus and kind of balance. The other thing is that after a night's sleep, I typically have a greater feeling of restedness and energy, upon waking. So these are the benefits that I have personally experienced. Now, there are some people out there, they will report, if you look at reviews and stuff like that, that they didn't notice any difference in how they felt. Now, for me, it's a very subtle effect, but it is noticeable. But the scientific studies are conclusive, and you can read them for yourself. This is well documented. And so, I have to consider the possibility that some people may not be sensitive to these changes that occur. So if you're going to try it, really pay attention to observe, your own electrical state. We are electrical beings. So that's it. This chapter doesn't really do it justice. There's other people who have documented this just point by point by point by point. There's been many, many studies that have been done on the various benefits and effects on the body. I'm just summarizing it for you in a nutshell. Very alkalizing, healing to the body, puts it in an electrical state of balance to the body. And it's one of these things we miss from Mother Nature, is the magnetism that we get from the Earth's surface. And so try it for yourself. If you can do some natural grounding, that's amazing. The great thing about that is you can combine it with other biohacks, like meditation, or like breath work, or like getting sun. All those can be combined with grounding, just being outside on a chair with your feet on the ground, on the grass, or on on the dirt. Some stones are conductive or semi-conductive. Others are not at all. Concrete, not really. And so it is best to be on the actual earth. And that's what this is all about. It's just taking the power of nature that's already there, and getting that back into our lives. So I'm telling you, I'm not over pitching this, and how good it made me feel. I mean, it really, really was a game changer for me. And I was just kind of run out ragged. I didn't know what the deal was, and this really, really put me back on track. And I've just been so much more calm and relaxed since discovering this. So that's why I'm sharing this information with you. If you want to see the products that I use, just go to rapidregeneration.com/grounding. It seems like there is a risk that that you're not going to notice any effects at all. Like, there's a small group of people that will review saying, "Oh, I didn't notice anything." So, if you're gonna give it a try and spend some money, it's not too expensive, but on some of these things, just know, there could be a risk that you're not going to notice anything. If you're okay with that risk, and then definitely give it a try. And personally, I can notice it big time, even though it is subtle, but I'm a big fan. So I hope that helps you. I hope this information is helping you, and keep going with these segments, because they're all building on each other, and this one is super central. And don't miss out on a blind spot that you would be getting from nature. Nature wants you to heal and be your best self. So all these findings and resources I'm documenting at rapidregeneration.com. This is my service to you, to help you, to pay it forwards, which is my mission. So see you on the next segment, and bye for now.
For more information, please follow at Rapid Regeneration or visit rapidregeneration.com.